Hello everyone, my name is Corey Sinsky. This is my Week 8 presentation. I chose to do an article that I used as a source for my final paper. And the article is called Teachers' Perceptions on the Value of Teacher Evaluations, and then Achieve New Jersey. This was a study based in New Jersey. They wanted to see the effect of a program that they put into place to see if that teachers' perceptions of evaluations changed or not. What did the researcher set out to do? Wants to give an overview of the perceptions of teachers and their evaluations before and after this program. She wanted to find out what should an evaluation consist of, and she wanted to explain how teachers feel about professional development. Like, is it available? Is it easily available? Is there support from administration? And items of that nature. So why did they think this is relevant? Well, it's important to evaluate teachers for accountability reasons. They need to hold teachers accountable for their students' learning. Identify areas of needs for teachers to improve. Maybe they need to ask higher depth of knowledge questions, or move around the classroom more, improve classroom management. It's important that teachers are evaluated and that teachers think that evaluations are important. And they also stated that the evaluation system right now is not very effective. The findings of this article, surprisingly, over 20% of teachers responded that they don't get evaluated on a yearly basis by their administration. So 1 in every 5 teachers didn't come in and get professionally evaluated. That's a problem. And on top of that, of the teachers who did get evaluated, over 50% of them claim that they made no change to their teaching technique after they were professionally evaluated. So they were evaluated, the administration talked to them, and the teacher made no major change to the way that they ran their classroom. That is another problem. They also bring up that the frequency of observations and evaluations should increase, and a way that will help teachers improve is that professional development opportunities need to be more accessible. The majority of the professional development the teachers had to pay for themselves, or they weren't reimbursed. There was no incentive to get professional developed other than personal integrity reasons. Comparison to the course, it's very similar to what I've learned about Singapore's evaluation and accountability system. The big thing in Singapore is professional development of their teachers. They're required, as part of their job, to attend at least 100 hours of professional development in Singapore if you want to keep your job. Now, that's nowhere near in America. Professional development sure is encouraged by administration, but there's no real incentive to go because you have to pay for it out of your own pocket most of the time. You don't get reimbursed for mileage or your time. It's just for your own personal benefit. And some teachers do that, but not all of them are willing to go out of their way to improve themselves, especially if they pay out of their own pocket. Another big thing in Singapore is collaboration of teachers and the mentor system, and that was brought up a lot in the article. And in Singapore, they have an incentive system. This was not mentioned in the article, but I would love if there was an incentive system for teachers who do well on an everyday basis, because it seems like the good teachers kind of go, I'm trying to think of the word, I guess we don't celebrate excellence in teaching very often. And I know that incentives would probably cost too much, but it doesn't have to be money necessarily. It can be like maybe your choice of a prep period, maybe you get to teach an honors class, something like that, something that rewards excellent teachers. My overall impression of this, I really enjoyed reading this article because it shares a lot of my viewpoints. and my topic for my final paper was very similar to this, so it helped me in writing my paper. And in my opinion, it's really easy to fake an observation. Um, the teacher tells their students, okay, the principal's coming in this period. Make sure you all behave, and you'll all get extra credit or something along those lines. So when the teacher comes in, they're all sitting there with their hands crossed, smiling at you, answering your questions. It's not really the same as an actual day in the classroom. The visits are too infrequent. Once a year is not enough. Twice a year is not enough. The visits should be more frequent. And like I said earlier, there's no carrot at the end of the stick. And for me, I like the satisfaction of being a good teacher, of being a good teacher to my students. But other than the personal satisfaction, what other reason do I have of trying to make myself better? For me and for a lot of good teachers, it's enough. But we want to get as many teachers as possible to be the best teacher possible, and I just don't believe that that's the case in a lot of places. And I think that having a carrot at the end of the stick would kind of swing the percentages in a good way. Thank you guys for listening to my presentation. I hope you have a great last week of this class.